decide that it's happy, and then I'll let you know when you're ready to start talking.
Thank you.
We didn't get any fibs this year at our place with the drought. It was terrible. Just too dry.
So sorry.
Yeah, it's been sad. All right, we're ready to go when you are.
Okay, well, good afternoon and welcome to our sustainable family home. My name is Mia Swainson.
I'm Xavier.
And Xavier is my son. Today, we're going to look at...
Also, Mum, that was in Grammarly correct. It can't go, and I'm Xavier, and it's really not Grammarly correct. So
okay, well, thank you for correcting me. I'm so pleased that it's correct now. So, lucky we're still learning. So when Canberra schools went pupil-free, I decided to use the time with my children to learn more about how we could live sustainably. Xavier is my middle boy. I have 3 boys.
2 of which are very lazy and don't want to join.
The other 2 are around and may pop in throughout the afternoon. So we're going to do quince paste.
And fig jam.
And fig jam.
Mum, you don't need to copy me.
Great. So because quince paste takes a while to cook, we actually got started this morning. But we'll show you a little bit about what we've done already. Right.
Okay, so firstly,
so the first thing we did,
we like to dust them off because they come off really dusty.
So these quinces, I don't know if you can see them. You know, hold them up. Yeah.
The can's just up there. So
yeah.
They're dusty.
They're from our garden, and when you pick them from the garden instead of the shops, they have this sort of furry dust on the side. So just give them a rub, and that comes off. Then we peeled them and chopped them up. I should say we weighed them first. So there was about 1 kilo of quinces, and then we chopped them up, and that led to about 500 or 600 grams worth of just the quince flesh. So the good stuff that you want to use to make the quince paste. Yep. So we're
still working on mine.
Yeah.
Making sure it's completely clear.
Yeah. So we won't chop these up now because it's actually quite tricky. Quinces are really easy to grow, though. That's on the positive side. I'd recommend them if you're thinking of what you want to put in the wintertime. Quince trees are fabulous. They'll grow in almost any condition. They grow out the front of our yard and they get almost no love into clay soil, and they produce these beautiful quinces every year, almost no water as well. So quinces are a really fabulous one to grow. So we this morning we peeled them, chopped them up, and then we put them on the stove.
And I thought that was actually quince paste.
To make the quince paste, yeah. Put them on the stove. There was about 100 mils of water, and then we let them get all soft, and then we tried to mush them up. Excuse me. And then we mush them up with usually you do it with a stick blender. Our stick blender's broken, so we've improvised, and we've got like our little smoothie blender to blend it up. Because if you don't blend it up, it ends up with lumps in it. So we've blended it up here, and then we added about the equivalent weight of sugar to the weight of the quinces. And then we let it boil and boil and boil, or actually simmer very lightly, because it changes colour from that. Yeah, the flesh is sort of a yellowy colour, a bit like the outside here, and it changes to this beautiful ruby red colour. Ours took about just over an hour today, but
you blend them up. You actually blend them up before you cook them.
I blend them before I cook them usually. Yeah, so I cook them lightly and then blend them. So this is what the quince paste looks like now.
Yeah. I'll just give them a better view.
Yeah.
Because you can actually see what.
Just don't spill it on my computer.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And then
it can take hours and hours to cook it normally.
Yeah, so it takes usually a couple of hours. There's a recipe that I've sent through that'll be available online afterwards. I don't know if Zoe wants to put it up now so people can take a photo if you want to follow along, but there'll definitely be the recipe online. And then what I've done is I've just got a ramekin here, and just lined it with some reusable or reused Glad wrap. So don't feel like you have to use Glad wrap just once. You can use it many times.
It's reusable.
Yep.
Just a tip.
There's the recipe. Oh, that's a fig jam recipe. There'll be a, this one first. And then the quince paste recipe.
So put it just inside.
Thank you, Zoe. Yep. Yep. And so what you want to do is fill up your ramekin with the quince paste. Oh, it's very sticky.
Very, very sticky.
You're doing a really good job there, Xavier. That's great.
Actually, I'm suggesting putting a big dollop on because then the top will come off easily.
Yep. So keep dolloping.
Until the entire thing's full, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and you want it full and level. I don't know if you can see what we're doing here yet. We're just getting it in. Doing a really great job there. Yep. Yeah, I'd say another couple of spoonfuls.
Go into some kind of selfie and we might be able
Oh, it's beautiful. Now the quince paste smells delicious. It's just incredible. So as it's been cooking today, the whole house has been filled with this lovely aromatic quince smell. So I recommend quinces not just for the flavour in the quince paste, but also for the smell in the house. So yep, as Xavier said, that's done. And then I'll just cover that over.
or attempts to.
Yep. Cover that over nicely. And Xavier, could you pop that in the fridge for me? Beautiful.
One fridge quince paste coming up.
Yep. And so it just cools down in the fridge there. And I like to store it in the fridge as well. So that's our quince paste recipe. And they were all from quinces from our garden. I think we had about
21?
20, maybe 15 or 20 quinces this year. There we go. So next up, I should say, any questions about the quince paste? Feel free to either use the chat or just ask.
Does it go really stiff?
Yeah, it's perfectly hard, exactly the way it comes from the shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So there must be enough pectin in the fruit to make it stick. You don't have to add anything. So yeah.
Definitely don't have to add anything, and it's also because of how you cook it for so long. All of the moisture, like any excess moisture, has cooked off by the time you're going to to put it into its shape.
Mom,
Yeah.
why do you think it comes with all this dust?
Why is there the fur on the outside?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We'd have to look that one up. That would be a scientific question, I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions from any of our other workshop participants? You feel free to use the chat line if you want to as well.
So I'll just unmute everyone so we can just have a chat if you want to. If you don't have any questions, that's okay.
Thanks, Zoe. I should introduce Zoe. Zoe's our producer and she's from the Canberra Environment Centre. So you can't see her face at the moment. You can just see the Canberra Environment Centre logo. Oh, careful with this. All right.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'll have a camera again on Monday.
All right, if there's no more questions, we might get on to making our jam.
Fig jam.
Fig jam. So here, Ashwin, I'm going to need your help now. So these are our figs.
We grow them ourselves on a fig tree down the bottom.
Yep, and actually we're very grateful that Granddad, when he visited just before all of the lockdowns happened, we had a Granddad visiting from New Zealand and he helped us to cover the fig tree because we had lots of figs, but we were sharing them with the birds. And now that we're not sharing them with the birds, we can't keep up. We can't eat them fast enough. We should really give them away to our neighbours. But we're going to make jam today. So what we need to do with these figs.
Ashwin's just here.
Yeah, so this is my eldest son, Ashwin, who's just joined us. Say hi.
Hi, Ash.
Not on the chat line, in physical form.
So what we're going to do is I'll just show you where we're chopping them up. We're going to chop them up, Xavier, this for you, Ashwin for you. So these are pretty ripe, you can see. So, and this one here, I've cut out a bit that was bad. So we chop them up roughly.
Oh
and
these are great ones.
And I'm going to put them into this bowl here and we'll weigh them. And the reason we're going to weigh them is because I'm going to put the same amount of sugar into the pan as I do fruit. Yeah.
Which means that.
What variety are they, Mia?
Oh, these are white figs. Yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed the skin's very green, much greener than the brown
Yeah.
turkeys that we have up in Queensland. That we usually don't pick them until the skin's almost like purple.
Yeah, so these are white figs. We could have bought purple figs, so you can grow purple figs in Canberra. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I just liked the look of them. So I thought, well, yeah.
Good.
These ones are looking a bit sad because I picked them yesterday and they're really at the figs are at the end. I don't know how yours go, Papa, but ours at the end of the season, they just get a bit more bruised quickly.
Yeah.
And
that's the good thing about jam. You can just throw everything in just about. And,
yeah.
It turns out good.
Yep. So we're getting here from that bowl of figs.
Figs actually look jammy already. The inside.
They do. We might do just a couple more because I'll save a few for eating. Yeah. And we'll do, I've got 600 grams so far, so just a little bit more. Thanks, boys, for doing that chopping.
Can we do more? Like last time we had like 2 pots full.
Yeah, I reckon this is probably enough for today.
Oh.
Well, we can do some more another time. This is our second lot of fig jam for the season. We love eating figs, but we just can't keep up. And we only have 1 tree. I think the secret...
No, we have 2.
Oh, actually, we do have 2 trees, but Tasman, my youngest son, picked all of the young figs off the other tree, so we didn't get any from 1 tree on account of Tasman and his friend sabotaging it. But the 1 tree that we did get figs off, we've had so many figs, we haven't been able to keep up with it, which is...
And we don't need... And it was fine, even the fact that they sabotaged it.
Yeah.
Because we can't actually keep up with what we have.
Yep. So, no, it's been lovely. So we've got about 1 kilo. Here you go, Dave. That'll do. Oh, can you pop it in there? So we've just been putting it on the scales. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Yeah. So you can see there. Xavier's just popped it in. And we've got it just over 1 kilo now of chopped up, roughly chopped figs. And so what we'll do with that is we'll pop them in this big heavy-based saucepan. Do you want to pour it in, Zave?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, will we have time to finish the fig jam in the video?
Probably not. No, because it takes more than 10 minutes to do. But we do have an example of finished caramelised fig jam.
Okay, we do.
So then what we need to do is also pop the sugar in. So I'm going to get, we're going to use 500 grams of jam setter sugar, just because it's already got the extra pectin in it. And then we'll also do 500 grams of white sugar. So Xavier, if you could measure 500 grams.
Is that 500 grams?
Yep, so it's been tared, so you can measure it there.
What, 100, 200?
Yep, good
Is that
job.
500?
Well, it has to say 500 there. So keep pouring. Yeah. Oh. Oh, good job. I think there's almost exactly 500 grams left. Oh, there's some on the side.
Yeah, that means that we can have exactly 500.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to pour this sugar that's got jam setter in, and you want white sugar or caster sugar. They'll work best. Xavier, they are already being measured, so I reckon just tip it up and we'll tip the whole thing in. Yeah. Just had a slight spill. I'll show you the spill if you like. Down here. Oh, I don't know if you can see it.
I'll tip it in there.
Yeah, go for it. Tipping it in. Good job.
Well, that is a lot of sugar.
Sure is. You give it a bit of a stir, Zave. Do you want to give that? You can stir it with that. Yep, I'll just tip the rest of that in. Good job. Oh, delicious figs and sugar. Mm-hmm. So
best taste in the
it is
world.
pretty yummy. If you like, you could add some spices here, like a cinnamon quill, or
Can we add some spices?
it could be caramelized and spiced fig jam.
Yay.
What would you like? What sort of spice would you like to add?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon? Yeah. Well, we'll just see if we can grab a cinnamon stick.
Yeah, you put it in an entire stick.
Yeah.
We use limes in ours. Yeah. Because the pectin's in the limes, in the skin of the limes, so you don't have to use any pectin.
Oh, Dave, I can't find our cinnamon. I'm sorry.
Anything else then?
This is what happens when you're not pre-prepared for cinnamon. I can't see our cinnamon, but we can stick it in a bit later. So Tasman's just joined us. Do you want to say hello, Tasman?
Hello.
Oh, can't see you. There you go.
It's good for gymnastics.
Yeah, good for gymnastics there. So what we're going to do now, Xavier and I are going to put this on the
I just can get
thing.
down
We
easily.
could, you're right, Papa's right. We could have put in lime. Like, did you just put it as a whole lime?
No, we chop them up.
Yeah, and stick them in. I bet that
Yeah, the most important thing is the skin.
Shall we do that, Dave? We've got, this is actually not a lime, but it's a young lemon that came from our tree this morning. So why don't we put that in? Yeah.
Wow. We came prepared.
We came prepared with this, but not with the cinnamon quills. Must be somewhere else in the cupboard. All right. Do you want to throw that one in?
The cupboard of
So
doom.
we'll have to pull these out before we bottle it, okay? So I'm leaving them quite big.
Pull
So,
what's out?
well, we don't need them in the
What?
fig jam.
Oh, these, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Same as the cinnamon quill, we'll pull it out. Okay? And so we'll pop this onto the stove and I'll bring it to the boil because I want to try and caramelize it. I don't want just regular fig jam. I want it sort of burnt a little bit on the bottom. This is inspired by my stepmother who makes an amazing burnt fig jam or caramelized fig jam. So we'll pop it in the back there. Turn that on.
And I'm going.
And look, I'll turn that on for about 15, 20 minutes. Sort of get it all mushed up. And
This is pretty much the ending result.
yeah, so we'll turn on 15, 20 minutes and then I'll let it cool down and then I'll cook it again a second time. And that second cooking is what gives that burnt or caramelized on the bottom flavour. And then you bottle it. So to bottle it, I just use, this is the, well, yep, old jars that we've sterilised in the microwave. And
What's sterilised mean?
so sterilised means you're making sure there's no bacteria or nasty things in there that might make you sick. So it helps the jam to live for longer. So that's why this jam doesn't have to stay in the fridge. It'll last in the cupboard for about 3 months.
Another trick you can do too in there is to when the hot pan, flip them upside
Yeah.
the lid. There's always a tiny little bit of air there.
Yeah.
So while they're still hot, flip upside for a few minutes, and it's sort of a sterilization technique.
Well, that was a bit, you were just going a bit laggy, so.
We had a bit of a trouble with the internet connection there. We couldn't hear you so well, but maybe everyone else could.
Yeah, it's pixelating. Can't hear you properly.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Papa. So anyone got any other questions about the fig jam? Because that one there, we're just going to have to let it cook for 15 or 20 minutes. So we thought we'd see if there are any other questions. Tassie?
Oh, yes, I have a question.
What? Oh, yeah.
I'd like to know with the sweetener,
Yes.
substitute like with coconut sugar or things like that, maple syrup, I don't know.
Yeah, so I have tried, but been incredibly unsuccessful at sweetening with things other than sugar, because sugar is such an effective preservative. But I know people do it, and you just add an enormous amount of pectin, and then you can, create it without the sugar. But I'm open to other people's ideas and thoughts. I mean, Judy over there is a bit of a champion jam maker.
What did I do this morning? Oh, I did the. They can't hear me. I can't.
Yeah, no,
Yes, you can.
Can you hear me, Mia?
Yes, we can, Judy. We can hear you.
Pardon?
We can hear you.
I've missed quite a bit of the recipe. I only just joined you, but I've got so many figs, so I'm really excited. Thank you for doing fig jam.
Total pleasure. Well, they're only there thanks to Grandad who netted the tree. Otherwise, the birds would have got them all. Yeah.
I'm going to have a go at fig and apple chutney as well.
Oh, lovely.
So feel free to get any other things like spreads.
Because we've got lots of...
Or gymnastic.
Or feel free to do gymnastics.
I thought it would be really nice to fig chutney with some nice cheese on a cracker.
That sounds beautiful.
Well, I'm doing gymnastics right now because I just got up here.
I just wanted to see if there were any other questions. Did anyone else have a question?
Have you got to get the sugar absolutely right per kilo? Is it really important, or can you cut back on the sugar a little bit?
So I've found you can cut back on the sugar, but I've found that it doesn't work as well. The experiments I've done hasn't come out at the right consistency, and then it doesn't last as long in the cupboard. So you can cut back on the sugar, but I think I'd do it with a recipe. Make sure you do it under guidance, and also eat the jam quickly.
Just over here. What's the story? We're going. Oh,
All right. Any other questions before we finish up for today? Yes.
Just quickly, yesterday's recipes, if I could have those.
Oh, yep. Zoe's posted them to our Facebook site. So for the Canberra Environment Centre. Yeah, maybe for those watching, if you need to find it, you can send an email to the Canberra Environment Centre. But
that's a great idea.
Yeah, person asking is my mother. I can email you one.
That special treatment, that is. I love it.
I can't see Zoe.
Any other questions?
I know she doesn't have.
Beautiful. Well, thanks so much for joining us again, everyone. We'll be back again on Monday at 2:30. And we'll actually set out a program of what we'll do for the week next week. Just getting our feet with this webinar, but we've really enjoyed doing it, and we really appreciate you all coming along to join us. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mia.